What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. After this long journey, we finally come to the conclusion of this scenario. I had a lot of fun making this. I was able to do something with Goku's family members and introduce a new one in terms of Ruda, while creating some unique character interactions along the way. But now, we've reached the finale of this scenario. At least for now. I may make a GT version, so be sure to drop a like on this video. I'll set a goal of 3,500 likes, and if we hit that, I'll consider making that. There seems to be some interest in it, so maybe that'll happen. But with all that out of the way, let's continue and finish off the scenario. So as I mentioned last time, for the Tournament of Power, Champa's in kind of a sticky situation. One of his strongest fighters, Hit, is now dead. He's gonna need an extra person on his team. This would be pretty detrimental, because I feel like the most likely option is recruiting another Namekian. The reason it's bad is because it weakens Townell and Perina pretty significantly. It would lower each of their powers just to make an extra fighter. So, Universe 6 takes a hit as a result, no pun intended. But as for Universe 7, they're better off than ever. I showed the team at the end of the last part, and they're pretty stacked as you could probably tell. Saiyans with great god powers, Saiyans with god powers and great techniques, a Namekian with Kai abilities, a hybrid Saiyan with some huge power, and even androids, and a short bald guy. They seem to be pretty well off right now. It's going to be interesting to see how they do during the tournament, because now we can transition into it. So in the original story, the first parts of the tournament were already easy, and now with a stronger team, it's only going to get easier from here on out. There is one thing I should mention though, both Bardock and Ruda are going to try to fight smart. Since the universe is at stake here, they'll probably try and use their spirit vision because they don't want to rely on just having a good fight. They'll do whatever they need in order to win, and this is particularly helpful once Goku makes the spirit bomb against Jiren. They're able to gather a lot of energy this way, lending it to the spirit bomb. But I feel that by this point, Zeno would probably ban them using it, since it's kinda cheap for a tournament and it could kill people. Which kinda sucks because if Bardock and Ruda knew that they only had one more chance to use it, they would have gone after Jiren instead. But regardless, Goku still got the energy from this, so the spirit bomb gets a lot more powerful. Instead of just everyone from Universe 7 lending energy, there's now this extra bit of energy added onto it. This would make the spirit bomb a lot harder for Jiren to overcome. Instead of just having him blink it away, he would have to actually put in some effort for once. However, even with this boost, it probably still wouldn't be enough to actually do anything to him, ultimately ending with him pushing it back, causing Goku to go Ultra Instinct, which plays out pretty normally. The good thing is, after this happens, he's able to get healed, if only partially. Bardock and Ruda don't want to use all their energy just healing Goku, but together they help restore him, in turn causing a massive boost in his power. Most of the time during this tournament, Bardock kinda goes on alone. He realized that Ultra Instinct thing was what Whis was trying to teach them all along. And he's curious, if Kakarot can do it, maybe he can too. He'll just have to put his mind to it somehow. Vegeta sticks with Raditz a lot, they make a pretty good combo, while Gohan's usually paired up with Piccolo. And of course, Ruda's gonna be sticking with 17. Together they're a great combo and fight very effectively, with both of them also acting as supports for other fighters. Piccolo is also another great support, he can heal people too, and his use of magic could be particularly helpful in some cases, such as paralysis. Together he and Gohan are easily able to defeat Dispo. Piccolo is able to freeze him when he's running, while Gohan's strength and speed are more than enough to outpace him. As for Toppo, Vegeta and Raditz take him out together. They don't even need Blue Evolution. Together and Blue alone they're strong enough to handle him, and he likely wouldn't even go into his God of Destruction mode without Frieza there to anger him. One particularly interesting tidbit is when Kale and Caulifla fuse into Kefla. They're about to fight Goku and Ruda can tell he's in trouble, so she and 17 step in to help. 17's able to throw up some barriers to help Goku, while Ruda's able to teleport around and then hit Kefla. While Zeno did ban Spirit Fission, he meant it more in the sense that he didn't want people stealing energy. Or at least that's what Ruda hopes he meant, because she uses it to make Kefla forcibly defuse. In the process, 17 kinda did act as bait, which caused him to get defeated by Kefla, but it was for the benefit of the other two fighters there. Together, the three of them knock out Kale and Caulifla, which easily helps them finish off Universe 6. Meanwhile, Raditz and Vegeta face fighters from Universe 3. They're having a pretty easy time, until all of them decide to fuse into Aniraza. Since Raditz is right there, Aniraza kinda catches him off guard and defeats him pretty easily, knocking Raditz out of the ring. The same almost happens to Vegeta, but everyone else helps intervene. Since Aniraza is a mechanical being, I'm gonna say that Spirit Fission won't work, so neither Bardock or Ruda can do that, which they end up finding out the hard way. But thankfully, the remaining fighters of Universe 7 are able to team up. Goku, Bardock, Ruda, Piccolo, Gohan, and Vegeta all defeat Aniraza, and the numbers of the people in the ring keep dwindling. There still is one pretty big issue though, that being Jiren. Those 6 fighters are the last left to face him. Bardock and Ruda go in acting as bait, using instant transmission to teleport around Jiren while Goku attacks. After his power boost, he's the strongest right now in terms of pure strength, as Piccolo, Gohan, and Vegeta help him too. Even with Jiren's insane strength, he's facing 6 really strong fighters with great techniques, so this would likely be overwhelming for him. But as he powers up more and more, he has a much easier time. He charges one powerful blast, launching it at Goku and Bardock. The two teleport away, but Jiren reacts quick enough to launch another blast to where they teleport at. He realized that instant transmission teleports into whatever energy source is around him, so launching attacks at the other fighters proves to be effective. He's able to defeat Gohan and Vegeta, but as for the other 4 fighters, they're able to teleport around to help them stay in. Piccolo's Kai is the best because he can teleport anywhere he wants. He doesn't need to rely on an energy source, meaning he's more unpredictable for Jiren, allowing him to stay in longer. With one swipe, Jiren launches an attack that knocks both Bardock and Goku off the edge, as he then sets his sights on Piccolo and Ruda. Ruda wants to stay in and help fight, but she realizes that she has something more important to do. Surprisingly, she teleports away from Jiren, teleporting to where Goku and Bardock are. Jiren expects her to grab them and teleport back to Piccolo, meaning he can knock all 4 of them out at once. But she knows that's too predictable, something that Jiren will be able to see ahead to. So instead, with both legs at once, she kicks both Bardock and Goku in the back, pushing them back into the ring as she's flung out, eliminating herself in order to save them. But before she did, she made sure to heal them while she kicked them, splitting her energy amongst the two to help them get stronger. This distracts Jiren, as Piccolo then quickly creates a block of Gine above him. It drops on Jiren and he's able to catch it, with Piccolo then teleporting behind him and launching 2 blasts at his legs, causing him to fall on his back. This allows Piccolo to group up with Bardock and Goku once more, as the block of Gine falls on Jiren. But this doesn't stop him for long. The block glows red as it then explodes. Jiren completely destroys it with one blast, as he quickly throws a blast towards Piccolo, seemingly knocking him out of the ring as well. That leaves just Goku and Bardock. He aims to knock them out with one attack, charging his most powerful blast yet, as the two desperately try to push it back. Their feet are planted into the ground as they're dragged to the edge. But just as they're about to fall off, they suddenly get a huge burst of power, disappearing right in front of Jiren. Jiren turns around and sees. Once again, Goku's using that same form. And somehow, Bardock has it too. Both of them have Ultra Instinct. Think about it, Bardock has the most unique and lengthy training of anyone here, and had the exact same training with Whis that everyone else got. He is naturally advantaged and would likely be able to unlock this eventually. The good thing is they were recently healed too, so while UI is fleeting, especially for Bardock, they do have a chance. Even with this new power, they're not sure how they're supposed to win, unless they willingly drag themselves out with Jiren. But if they do that, they'll lose. But they hear a voice in their head telling them to do it. Someone's been reading their thoughts and telepathically told them what to do. It's Piccolo. But if they do this, then they'll lose. But Piccolo tells them not to worry, look in the stands. Piccolo's not actually there. He was never knocked out. When Jiren was distracted, Piccolo was able to split himself into 2. Jiren only knocked out a clone of Piccolo, and he doesn't know that. It was the perfect trick. Piccolo's still in the ring hiding somewhere. He tells them to do whatever they need. Even if they fall out of the ring, he's still in there. So, that's what they aim to do. Together in Ultra Instinct, the father-son duo defeats Jiren, tackling him out of the ring as they fall out too. The spectators of Universe 11 then realize Piccolo was never really knocked out. He's the last one in the ring, meaning Universe 7 wins and he's the MVP. Thankfully, it all went well. Of course, Piccolo would wish for all the universes back. Not only is Piccolo a good guy, obviously, but he's a Kai too. This is the morally right decision. Everyone returns home, and now we're gonna head into the Moro arc. Obviously, there's gonna be some changes here. There's no Boo, so what are they supposed to do with that? Well, because of that, I feel like the Galactic Patrol wouldn't even stop by Earth. Of course, Jocko would know about it, but without Boo there's no real reason for them to stop there. At least not at first. This blunder causes Moro to get his wish on Namek. They try and stop him alone, but they're not able to do it, even with Maris' help. Now with his youth, Moro can go around the universe doing as he pleases. The Galactic Patrol has no other choice. They need to enlist some strong fighters. They head to Earth, trying to warn everyone, also aiming to get some help. They hear this Moro guy is pretty terrifying. Not only is he physically strong, but his magical abilities are pretty tough to deal with, especially his energy absorption. But thankfully there's a solution. He can only take energy from living beings. But there is a certain artificial fighter that can help them out. The Galactic Patrol is led to Monster Island. There, the Galactic Patrol meets 2 fighters, Android 16 and Android 17. They asked 18 to help, but there was no pay involved, so she doesn't do it. 17 decides to help because all of these planets are at risk, and he has people to protect the island just in case. And as for 16, he's gonna go along with 17. The 2 of them should actually be immune to Moro's energy absorption, but the issue is they may not be strong enough. But there's no need to worry. Android 16 is not the same Android 16. Ruda 17 and Bulma have continuously worked on upgrading him. He gathers data from a bunch of fights to get stronger, as well as getting a bunch of physical improvements as well. Plus with some nanotechnology from Capsule Corp, they're able to give him an artificial form of regeneration, something like what Cell has except completely made with robots. If any part of 16 gets destroyed, nanobots inside him can help rebuild it. After that whole debacle with Cell beforehand, they decided it might be a good idea to install this in him. Since he's completely artificial, it wasn't really too hard to do. He was actually the one to suggest this. He thought maybe if he gathered data like Cell did, he could keep growing and be more helpful. And just in case, Ruda and Bardock are going to tag along too. They're going to keep their distance just so Moro doesn't steal their energy, or at least notices that they're there. But they do want to see if their spirit vision is able to help against him. So, alongside Maris and the Galactic Patrol, these 4 fighters teleport to where Moro is right now, finding him on a recently destroyed planet. It seems they're too late. He already destroyed most of this planet already. He doesn't know who these people are and how they just got here randomly. But they don't spend any time introducing themselves. Immediately a barrier forms around him, trapping him with 16 and 17. The 2 immediately rush him, landing some powerful attacks but not doing too much damage, although they do leave some marks. He launches an attack destroying the barrier, so he can fight more freely. 16 rips his arms off, charging a Hell's Flash. Moro sees this and gladly opens his mouth, ready to eat the energy, but as the beam flies towards him, he suddenly realizes that this isn't normal energy. He quickly closes his mouth and tries to get out of the way, but the beam hits him almost head on, causing some decent damage. As he recollects himself from this, 17 begins attacking too. It's clear that Moro underestimated them, so he starts fighting more seriously. He knows now that he can't take their energy, but he could probably overpower them still. During the fight, he's suddenly hit in the back by 2 people, who continuously punch him as energy gets released. He looks behind and sees Bardock and Ruda. He swings his arm at them, but they easily block him, punching him right in the snout. He coughs up a bit of blood and then realizes it feels like he's a bit older now. The 2 continue attacking him with a barrage of attacks as 17 and 16 help distract him. It appears he can absorb the energy of these 2 fighters, but also whenever they attack, he gets weaker and weaker. Telepathically, Bardock tells Goku to come in now, as Goku then teleports in with other fighters. They all face Moro's crew who are now trying to get involved. But there's one guy that's particularly an issue, that being 7-3. He starts using Moro's power, stealing people's energy. And this clearly is a big issue, but before he can absorb it, someone else then teleports in and attacks him. That being Piccolo. He tries to take Piccolo's energy, but he can't. With Piccolo being a Kai and all, he's able to counter this magic, making him pretty much immune to it. Moro notices this and knows that things are getting bad. So he makes a beeline for 7-3, ready to eat him. He lunges towards the android with his mouth open, but just as he's about to grab 7-3, he's scathed by a massive attack, a light grenade from Piccolo that just incinerated 7-3. Moro's trump card has been erased, and the rest of the escaped prisoners are getting caught or defeated. More energy is taken from him as he gets older and older. Moro is rapidly losing energy as he drops to his knees. As he looks up, he sees Bardock and his 3 kids standing over him. Maris watches nearby, amazed to see what's happening. Moro is furious, but he has one way out. He charges up a bunch of energy, ready to directly attack the planet, taking out everyone with him. And if he's lucky enough, he may even survive this. But just as he lifts his hand up, a keyblade goes right through it, and he sees Raditz sticking his arm out. Raditz decides that he'll do the honors, and with his other arm, he creates another keyblade, going right through Moro and instantly killing him. Their work here is finally done. Thankfully, with the Dragon Balls, they're able to restore all the damage that he did. And luckily, Maris gets to live here, continuing to stay undercover at the Galactic Patrol. Beerus and Whis were watching the whole time as well. They're interested to hear what's happening, and they're glad to see that everyone made it out okay. Their students have really made some great progress. And now, the group returns home. There is one thing that I do want to mention though. It hasn't really started yet, but eventually, Bardock's rapid aging would begin. If he's not at that point already, he'll definitely be there soon. He can feel it. He tries to get that Ultra Instinct power again, but it's kinda tough. Goku continues his training and is eventually able to unlock it at will, as he goes on the path to mastering it. Raditz and Vegeta try to do the same, but they notice that Bardock's sort of falling behind. He's getting rustier, and he knows exactly what it is. He's finally reaching his limit in terms of age, so why not quit while he's on top? He thanks Beerus and Whis for all that they've done, but says that it may finally be time for him to retire fighting. He did it his whole life, so it would be nice to spend the rest of it relaxing on Earth, at home with Gine and the rest of his family. The good thing is he'll still able to see Goku and Raditz a lot. While he's not training, Instant Transmission will still let him teleport there whenever he needs. And while the two didn't really like each other before, he and Vegeta are on much better terms now. It's crazy how far they all came. And funny enough, it's all thanks to Frieza. Had he not destroyed Namek, Bardock, Gine, and Ruda would have never met Kakarot, and they would have never gone to Earth. It's weird how it all works out like that. But he's pleased. He could tell that generation, as well as the generation after that with his grandkids, they're all gonna be fine. He's lived a good life as a Saiyan. But now, he kinda wants to enjoy Earth life. His kids and everyone around them made him proud. And it's good that he no longer has to be at war all the time. He departs from Beerus' planet, returning home. Gine welcomes him back again, with Chi-Chi surprised to hear that he's finished training. And of course, his pal Ox King is there too. And of course, Ruda's still on Earth. he'll be able to see her whenever, as well as all his grandkids. But for now, it may just be time for him to sit back and relax at home, cracking open a can of Heat-Tap with Ox King, enjoying some nice time with Gine and his grandkids. This is so much better than Planet Vegeta, and I think with that, this is a good spot to finish off the series. So, what did you guys think about this series? If anything happens next, what do you think it'll be? And what was your favorite thing about it? Leave any thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what everyone thinks. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like, and let's try to hit that like goal from the beginning of the video. If you haven't already, why not subscribe, as well as hitting the bell icon to get notified about any future uploads on my channel, including videos like this one or possible continuations to this scenario. As always, thank you all for watching, thanks for supporting this scenario, and I'll see you all in my next video.